Only the lonely know the way I feel tonight. Hello, Kitty.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine, Angus.
Good.
Why are you singing about being lonely?
I miss my friends. I can't go out whenever I want to. I have to stay at home, and it's a problem.
Why is it a problem for you?
I want to be with my friends and play and have parties, and I can't. And this virus is making me annoyed, frustrated, angry.
I know how you feel. I think we all feel that way. But you know what, Angus?
What can I do? I want to do something big, something important to make this virus go away.
You know what you can do?
Mm-mm.
The right thing.
What's the right thing?
Just what you're doing at the moment. Stay at home. And
Okay.
by doing that,
Mm-mm.
you are a hero.
Well, I don't feel like a hero if I stay at home.
Yeah, but it's not always what you feel and what you see. It's sometimes the little things that make a big difference.
Like staying at home.
Yes,
So is it important?
very important.
Will it help to help the virus go away sooner?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, then I'll try to be a bit more patient.
Yes, and
I'll try.
that will actually be a good thing. If you learn patience
Patient.
and
Okay.
find other nice things to do at home.
I'll try. Okay.
Yes.
I have to go now.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to the Craigies Kids Corner.
Okay.
I'm going to watch them on the internet.
What are they going to do today?
I think it's the story of Goliath and what was the other one?
I think you mean David.
David and
Yes.
Goliath. David, the sheep person, and Goliath,
He's
the
a shepherd.
warrior person.
He's a shepherd.
The
And
shepherd. Okay.
I don't want to sound funny now, Angus.
Mhm.
But I think maybe you can learn a lesson from David.
Okay. Did David like to sing as well?
You like to sing?
Maybe I can see him singing. Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Bye, boys. Bye, girls.
Only a boy named David, only a little sing. Only a boy named David, but he could play and sing. Only a boy named David, only a little brown. Only a boy named David, but the five little songs he knew. And one little song he did to sing with round and round. And one little song he did to sing with round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And one little song he dropped in the air. And the giant came tumbling down. Only a boy named David, only a little sling. Only a boy named David, but he could play and sing. Only a boy named David, only a round and round. Only a boy named David, with the hardest songs he knew. And one song he did to sing with round and round. And one song he did to sing with round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. One more song he got to hear. And then the giant came tumbling down.
Hi, boys and girls. Today's story is about a boy called David and a giant called Goliath. God's people, the Israelites, were getting ready to fight an enemy army. David's brothers were soldiers in the army. They were camped with King Saul and the other soldiers on a hill. On the other side of the hill, across the valley, was another army. The enemy army had a soldier called Goliath. Goliath was very big, very strong and very tall. He was around 9 foot tall. He was a giant. Every day Goliath would shout mean things at King Saul and the Israelites. Then he would say, "Choose someone to come and fight me. If he wins, we will serve you. If I win, you will have to serve us." King Saul and his men were afraid. They were used to fighting together, and Goliath was so big that no one wanted to fight him by himself. One day, David came to the camp to bring his brothers some food. He had a donkey that was laden with food to feed his brothers and all the other soldiers. David heard the giant yelling, and David was incredibly angry because of all the mean things that Goliath was saying about God and the Israelites. David could not understand why no one would fight Goliath. David knew that God was stronger than any giant, and David knew God would help the Israelites to win. One of the soldiers told King Saul what David had said. So King Saul sent for David. When David arrived, he told King Saul, "I will fight Goliath." King Saul said, "You can't do that. You're just a boy." But David answered, "When I was taking care of my father's sheep, I had to kill a lion and a bear. I know that the Lord who helped me protect my sheep from the lions and bears will help me to fight the giant." Saul wanted David to wear the king's armor and to use his sword. But when David tried to put it on and walk around with all those things on, he said, "I can't fight in these," and he took them off. So King Saul said, "Go, and God will be with you." Then David went and found 5 smooth stones to use with his sling. Now he was ready to fight the giant. When Goliath saw David, he laughed at him. He thought, the strongest and biggest soldier in King Saul's army would come out and fight him. But this person was just a young boy. He didn't have a sword. He didn't have a spear. He didn't even have a shield. He didn't have anything except a sling and 5 stones. So Goliath yelled at David, "Don't be ridiculous. There's no way that you can take me on and fight me with just a sling and some stones." As the giant came closer, David ran towards him. He put a stone in his sling and he shot it at the giant. The stone struck Goliath in the forehead, and Goliath fell down, never to get up again. When the army saw what had happened, they were all afraid, and they started to run away. David trusted in God to help him, and God used David to help save the Israelites from the enemy army. Just like David, we sometimes get into some problem situations. Not everyone is scared of the same things, but all people face problems at some time. David didn't have to be a giant like Goliath. He trusted in God who helped him. We don't have to be afraid either. Just like David, we can trust in God to protect and take care of us. I hope you enjoyed today's story, boys and girls, and we'll see you again next week for another story. But now we're heading over to Scott's Corner, where he's going to show us how to do this week's craft. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome to Scott's Craft Corner. This week's story is the story of David and Goliath, so we're going to be making a David and Goliath model. For this craft you will need some sellotape, a pencil, a black, gold and brown pen, some scissors, a toilet roll tube and a kitchen roll tube if you can. If not, you can put 2 toilet roll tubes and sellotape them together like I've done. And 2 pieces of paper. For the first step, you will need to mark out how much paper you will need for this. So you will need to roll it up and then use your pencil to mark it. You can get an adult to help you with this bit. And for the smaller one, you will also need to do it for the top bit as well as the rolled up. The next step after that is to cut it out. You should probably get an adult to help you with this. You can fold along the lines and cut along the fold if you want to do that as well. Then the next step after that is to draw your David and Goliath. I have done that already. So my Goliath and my David. So that's next step, just to draw them. Then the step after that is to get your sellotape and your paper and tube. Roll it round, and you will probably need someone else's help, like an adult, because this is awkward. You might need some help with this bit. And I'm going to do my David as well. And you have yourself the giant warrior Goliath and the small boy David.
Only a boy named David, only a little sling. Only a boy named David, but he could never sing. Only a boy named David, only a little brown. Only a boy named David, with 5 little songs he took. And one little song he did to sing with round and round. And one little song he did to sing with round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And one little song he dropped in the air. And then the giant came tumbling down. Only a boy named David, only a little sling. Only a boy named David, but he could never sing. Only a boy named David, only a little brown. Only a boy named David, with 5 songs he took. And one song he did to sing with round and round. And one song he did to sing with round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And one more song he got to the air. And then the giant came tumbling down.
My, that was so much fun. I enjoyed the singing and making my David and my Goliath. And you, Kitty, did you enjoy it?
Yes, I had fun, thank you.
That is wonderful. So, Kitty, next week we are going to have even more fun at Craigies Banquet's Corner.
Oh, that sounds good.
We might even have a visitor or two next week.
Oh, that sounds good.
So boys and girls, enjoy your week. Remember, stay home and stay safe.
Thank you.
Well,